We've been getting a lot of comments requesting for more doubles content recently, and while it took us some time, we're happy to finally reveal our first mixed doubles video. Today we're going to talk about why Chinese badminton players are so good at mixed doubles, and how the nation is dominating this category. With the current world number 1, 2, and 3 all representing China, and another 2 pairs ranked 12th and 13th in the world, there's no question that China has the strongest mixed doubles players currently. The real questions are how and why. What are Chinese badminton players doing differently to dominate the mixed doubles category? After watching hours of Chinese mixed doubles pairs, there are a couple of things that stood out to us. First, we want to put emphasis on the female player, and specifically look at their rhythm of play. Players like Qiong often play with a rhythm of hit-hit as opposed to hit-wait-hit. Let me explain. We all would like to take the net early, as naturally shots are easier to execute, and you have more options from that position. But to play the net early, especially in doubles, does not necessarily come from being very quick on your feet. While that's definitely part of the reason, 80% of your ability to take the net early and cut off shots comes from your preparation. You must be ready for the shot to move to it early. Chinese players have a strong understanding of rhythm, and you can see it in their play. There is almost zero delay to prepare for the next shot after the female players hit their shots at the front court. The moment the shuttle leaves their racket, they are ready for the next shot. This focus on rhythm allows Chinese players to cut off so many more shots compared to their opponents and take the shuttle much earlier, which consistently puts the pairs in an attacking position. Now, we are aware that this skill of preparing fast is not limited to Chinese players. But what you'll notice is that other players are often limited to doing this in combos that they have practiced in training. For example, one of the most commonly practiced patterns are 2-shot combos where players play a drive or net into a kill. Players from other nations frequently play their combos, but are often not ready for what comes after. On the other hand, Chinese players can often be seen continuing to take the net up high for multiple shots until the opponent ultimately lifts. One thing that helps Chinese players play at these fast paces as well is their shot choice. They often play faster nets and half crosses that don't require significant control compared to shots like spin nets. This means they don't really need to slow down when hitting their shots and can immediately focus on the next shot. The idea is that you don't necessarily need a very good spin net or other high-quality shot to get the lift. As long as you take the shot early and play a shot that's going down, you force your opponents to be the ones choosing between lifting or controlling back to the net from below the tape. Speaking of shot choice, one thing Chinese players do, far more than other players as well, is play cross shots. They often do this most effectively from the mid to front court and on defense. The idea is to catch your opponent off guard and force them to respect multiple shot options. It's especially effective in the front and mid court where there's less time to react. Opting for quick cross shots often forces your opponent to take the shuttle late from the extra time required in reacting and moving.
From Zhang Chi, that sets up the point.
Additionally, Chinese players also make use of shots toward the middle far more than their opponents. If you watched our other videos, you'll know that playing a shot towards the middle is a great strategy to neutralize the rally. This is the case in doubles as well. A return from the middle will have reduced angles that makes it much easier for you and your partner to cover. For example, take a look at this clip and how Yuta Watanabe and Zheng Siwei contrast in their shot selection. Watanabe ultimately goes straight at the end, which gave Zheng the opportunity to play a hard cross drive that his partner could not cover. The added bonus of playing shots towards the middle in doubles is that it can be confusing as to who takes the shot. The psychological consequence of making your opponents clash rackets is not one to be underestimated and is absolutely something you should try to take advantage of.
Good defending. Couldn't quite finish it off, Zhong Na-en. Good shot from Kim Won-ho. Excellent retrieval from Jiang. Just.
Now, we are aware that everything discussed so far is not necessarily limited to Chinese mixed doubles pairs. These are strategies that everyone tries to execute on the highest level, but the Chinese players just do it much more consistently. One thing that does seem to be unique toward the Chinese team, however, is how they create their pairings. There is a distinct pattern in the Chinese pairings. The female player is often one that is more controlled with a higher focus on skill, while the male players are explosive, tall, or both. This contrasts with many other pairs on the circuit, where the female player focuses a lot on being quick, while the male player is often more controlled. Most notably, the Korean pairs and the Japanese pairs. We also see that the Chinese pairs tend to be led by the female. They're the ones that are often more vocal and expressive about how the game should be played. Whether this is a coincidence or not, it does make a lot of sense. Having the female player dictate the pace of your pairings game makes more sense than the male player doing it. If the players aren't necessarily on the same page, the male player will generally cover much better than the female player. Just think, who's going to reach the shuttle faster, Zheng Siwei or Cai Yu Zheng? I think the answer is pretty clear.
Cross-court shot that he got from that far corner all the way cross-court.
Additionally, think about the type of shots a male covers compared to the female. Male players will often play the back court, while female players play the front. The front court arguably requires far more control than the back court. Ideally, you should be fast and control your shots, but if that's not possible, you would almost always choose control over speed in the front court. Comparatively, you can often get away with hitting the shuttle downwards as hard as you can in the back court. This makes it generally preferable to be caught off guard in the back court rather than the front court if you're going to get caught. For these reasons, it makes a lot of sense to train your female players to be smart and skilled rather than quick and strong, and put more emphasis on explosiveness for male players rather than technical. Let the female player dictate the strategy and pace of the game, and have the male player react rather than the reverse situation. Of course, you still need to be at a decently high level in all elements in badminton. Don't let this come off as only train physical if you're a male and only train skill if you're a female. Once again, it is important to mention that rhythm, the use of cross shots, and letting the female dictate the game isn't exclusive to Chinese pairs. These are just qualities that stand out more from them compared to other pairs. It is also important to mention that Chinese pairs can still lose too, and that having these strategies does not necessarily make them invincible. Regardless, for those of us that do play mixed doubles or even normal doubles, we can learn from watching Chinese mixed doubles pairs and take pointers from their rhythm and shot choice. More specifically, prepare for the next shot pretty much the instant the shot leaves your racket, and opt to play more shots that don't require you to slow down at the front, like fast nets and half crosses. And in the mid-court, playing your shots cross, and to the middle as much as you play straight shots can disrupt your opponent's rotations and catch them off guard. Just make sure you communicate what you're going to do beforehand so your partner is ready. The game is much easier when you're anticipating rather than reacting. What do you think, though? What are the reasons that make Chinese mixed doubles pairs so good? Let us know in the comments section below. Additionally, if you liked this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on all our future videos.